Hello friends, welcome back to yet another your health educative content creator. So today we'll be talking about potassium salt. We have been talking about salts for the past two more or three more series as such, where I have been mentioning about different salts. So on the same series, today I'm talking about potassium. And I guess you got to know the importance of this potassium salt when we were talking about the sodium salt. So sodium was one such kind of a salt which was very important for body. So today we'll be talking about potassium, where the action of potassium is diverse like that of other alternative medicine, but not very specific, but also an important salt for your day-to-day activity. So yes, when we try to compare this salt with others, you can obviously see that it has a direct correlation with sodium. So it can be as a better alternate source of salt than the sodium salt. Well, when you think about its existence, you can find it in enormous amounts of fresh fruits and vegetables, highly specified in dried herbs and tomatoes, which is sun-dried, baked squash, dark chocolates, whey proteins, rice bans, and dry roasted soya beans. So when you dry roast, when you sun dry, when you bake it, the bioavailability of potassium increases. So one such reason to cook is also because to make these salts widely available for the body to digest and widely let the absorption happen in the system. So you can take any fruits and vegetables as such, they are having good amount of potassium. But the bioavailability of the potassium has to be seen higher ranges, especially in bananas. So bananas and nuts, they have good source of free available or bioavailable potassium in them. So that is the reason why consumption of these helps in your metabolizing these potassium in a regular day. But how much is basically needed? Uh, when can we say that this can lead to hyper or hypo? That we'll talk about later. But on an average, you need 4,700 mg of potassium per day. When you're kid to you're becoming adult, there's a different range of potassium which is needed for the body. And along with that, it changes during lactation and pregnancy. So it's a very volatile kind of a salt, we can say, because it uses a lot of available patterns which is in coincide with the natural availability of fruits and vegetables. So because they are available freely in our environment, does they have an impact on health? Definitely. A low potassium in your food and a higher potassium in your food can create a lot of troubles for, especially for your heart and along with other things. To be more specific, hyperkalemia, that is increased potassium in your blood, can actually uh, impair your kidney functions, because the potassium and other salts, they generally stores in your kidney for its removal. So if it is not removed well through your kidneys, then it can cause troubles to your kidney. That's not just with potassium, that's with any salt per se. So that is the reason why if you're consuming more potassium than what kidneys can remove, so that can lead to hyperkalemia. This hyperkalemia can actually make your muscles weaker, can also help in twitching. That is, you can't feel the controls of your hands or your legs. So they just keep moving very rapidly, which we basically call it as tingling in the primary senses. Along with that, an increased potassium in your body can lead to false signaling for your heart, and false rhythm arises, because of which it can kill your heart, or at least it can give wrong information and messages to your heart. At the same time, hypokalemia in your body can lead to hypertension. As you know, hyperkalemia is low concentration of potassium in blood. When the low concentration of potassium in blood is seen, the higher concentration of sodium is found in blood. So when that happens, obviously sodium constricts the vessels, constricts the heart vessels, constricts the blood vessels, leading to hypertension. At the same time, even lower concentration of potassium leads to hypertension and other stress related injections. So this can lead to also heart failure, because hypertension can obviously lead to other problems. Along with that, a very interesting thing which we noticed was lower production of potassium or lower consumption of potassium can lead to depression and mood fluctuations. So people who are feeling very low, probably they are not just feeling low, probably the potassium in their blood is also low. So this can be seen in slower ways in your communication style, slower ways for your body to communicate with your surroundings in form of lowered reflexes, in form of making the so-called interactive stances very much lower, by even the muscular activity becoming on a lower end. So yeah, if you look at the exact opposite is that of potassium. So sodium keeps everything at par at a stressor levels, whereas potassium lower drops everything down to the sub-minimal level. So make sure you eat those fruits and vegetables which are freshly available, and also keep your potassium levels in congruence with what your health needs. So as I said, kidneys, if it doesn't produce or if it doesn't remove much of a potassium, it might be because of you are not drinking adequate water. So also keep a check on the amount of water you are drinking along with the amount of potassium you are eating. So we need to understand along with the lines of sodium. Like I said, in sodium, the salt retains the water at the outer surface of the cells. So basically in the extracellular area, the water is retained. Whereas potassium, if it is not regulated well, it is seen to it that it leads to intercellular water regulations and retention. So potassium is also very important in regulating the acid balance of the body, especially at the tissue lining and the cell lining. Along with that, potassium is very necessary for increasing the electrical impulses. So depression and slow reflexes are one such reasons, saying that there is no much adequate potassium, because nerve conductivity and nerve way of communicating with others need potassium as a basic source for them to act and for them to react. This can be also seen when you are trying to get more activity across your body in form of muscular activity, because protein is one such thing. It helps in synthesizing the protein, allowing the communication of your muscles faster. And one more very important thing is potassium helps in converting this glucose which is available in the body into glycogen, where it can be stored in the liver. So along with that, it also helps in your heart and your nerve function. So if you see, the function of potassium is wide across the region of your body, but it is very important as it contains majority of the works, as it makes sure that majority of the works are taken care of. So it's very important you notice these changes in your body and make or take the decisions accordingly. So have a test of what exactly potassium channels or potassium levels in your body, and make sure you stay on these good levels of potassium that is available in your system. When we try to research the same, we could found that across the spectrum of population, hypertension was one thing which nobody expected to be coming down just by including potassium salts in their body. This led to a specific diet which is called as DASH diet. This was a specific diet to stop hypertension. So dietary, they basically spoke about the importance of other natural substances like that of fruits and vegetables in reducing the tension. So this has come into our understanding that regular fresh fruits and vegetables not just stops hypertension or reduces the incidences of hypertension across the community, across the global population. So from America to the Australia and all the other running towards the east, entire population, if they had good amount of fresh fruits and vegetables, fresh sources of and higher bioavailability of potassium, that can lead to the reduction in your hypertensive problems. Because it's diuretic in nature, you can pass more urine, and because of its functionality, as I said, you need to pass more urine and drink more water to pass more urine, and also helps in maintaining the cardiac health and your body's metabolic activity. So yeah, potassium on an average seems to be very small or very not much including subject of interest, but its functionality is very wide and not so specific. So make sure to eat those fresh fruits and vegetables. This intention of the channel is to bring you understand the more importance of the food which you eat. So make sure that you eat all those fresh fruits and vegetables, and eat according to what is required. So make sure that the bioavailability of potassium is there. That can lead to better way of absorption and a healthy heart and nerves. So thank you for holding on till this moment. And as I've spoken earlier, we'll be talking about the heart next week. So subscribe to the channel. If you have any doubts, you can write down to me personally at dradityahandle@gmail.com. Liking this video, sharing this video encourages me to post more such contents and helps me out in tracking the amount of viewership. Will also lead to a better specific way of writing to you or talking to you and being more specific towards making these health topics more interesting. So if you have any comments regarding this, you can always comment it down below. And stay healthy. See you next week on the subject of heart and its way of attacking itself. What exactly we mean by heart attack, why it happens, and we'll try to understand and make it very simple for you to go through the same. See you next week, same time. Thank you.